Hello everyone, welcome back to the newly reconfigured Center for Off-Road Research and Shenanigans. And I've redone this course a little bit, just I was starting to get a little bored with the old one. It was good, but you want something different once in a while. So this is it. There'll be some more driving stuff later. And just in the meantime, I thought I'd show you a few of my special vehicles that I've been working on lately. And you saw this Enduro 24 that I ended up getting 41 quarters worth of lift out of this rear tire, which I thought was amazing, and it pretty much is. This one has only 39 on the SCX24, and it has kinetics. The Enduro has stock shocks repositioned to the middle, which I showed you guys on a earlier video, but it effectively lowers the spring rate, so there's not, it's almost a pivot rather than something with actual spring rate on it. This car is my latest one I've been working on. It started off as a Jeep, but it's not going to be a Jeep for much longer, and I've already done a ton of work to it to get it up to where I like it to be. I've high clearanced all the links, and this is getting ready to go on that 3D printed rock bouncer. So I was going to try to get it ready for that. But this one has kinetic shocks on all four corners, and the flex on this thing is incredible. I mean, it reaches for the sky. I haven't even measured how many quarters that is yet. Maybe I'll do that before the end of the video, but it blows away this Enduro. I'm kind of amazed by it. But the reason it's so good and so much lift on that one, first of all, like I told you, it has the kinetic shocks on all four corners. This one's different from my other ones in the fact that I have the VLP springs, the very low pressure, and it's the first one that they've actually shipped with the springs. I've ordered 3 sets, but they were out of them earlier. It sits a bit higher, and I'm kind of okay with that just because my other trucks I've kind of intentionally had sit lower just for good climb performance, and they have that. The Enduro right now can only climb at about 58 degrees instead of 63 because of the larger tires. I haven't tested that on the course yet, but I will later on. This one also has the RC four-wheel drive competition wheels, and in order to use those, you use these millstone spacers, and it makes it quite a bit wider than a standard rig. Let me show you that. Alright, I've moved the my four-wheel steer car behind it, and you can see that it is basically an entire wheel length wider, and that has some interesting driving characteristics on the rocks. I'm also running currently, excuse me, I'm getting a little tired. I currently have the Super Swampers on here, and I really don't like these tires much. They're too small. I think the tread pattern is good. It's almost like a small, what am I trying to say? It's almost like a small mudslinger, but not quite. They're similar, but not quite. But anyway, I think they're supposed to be the same tread compound, but I don't see that when I touch the two. They feel different to me, but I think the website said they're the same. Anyway, this is going to get scramblers because I have them on order. When mudslingers are available, I'll probably swap them out again, just because at that point we'll have them. But this one is already sits higher. It needs bigger tires, and this is just going to be a rock bouncer, so it's not going to, the focus of it will not be steep climbs like my other trucks. I like them to do everything as well as possible, but I don't have the deadbolt or my original truck out tonight, but just thought I'd show this to you. Even though it has small tires that kind of don't do real well on my course, the articulation is insane. Let me do a quarter stack and see what I get out of it. Well, that's what I got for the the new SCX24 that's going to be a rock bouncer, that flex is just crazy. That's what you get with kinetics. And also the millstone wheel weights push the wheels out a little bit farther, and just due to the fact that they're on the end of a longer lever, they're going to have a bit more travel, and in this case a huge amount more travel. I'm kind of astonished by that. Let's find out how many quarters that is. If you want to count them yourself in the stack, you're welcome to. There's a shot. You can screenshot it, do whatever you want. But I'm going to take them out and see how many that is. I laid them all out in a pattern so that I could count them easily. They're rows of 10. I've got 5 rows of 10 plus 1 extra on the end there. And that is 51 quarters worth of flex under this rear tire. That's 10 more than I got out of the Enduro. And I didn't think I would ever have a truck that would be able to do that. So this is incredible to me. The only thing left to do is drive it on the rocks and just kind of show you how it works. Even with these small tires that aren't probably meant for rock, they do exceptionally well, given the fact that with that amount of width there just isn't a whole lot of terrain clearance for the differential in the middle if it's going over a domed rock, and it will drag on that. I've got the very low pressure springs on this one instead of the normal stock springs that I usually run, and it sits a bit higher because of that. And like I said before, I'm okay with that. I've got massive ground clearance, the high clearance links, and it doesn't really drag the body or the links at all. It's up in the air. But the weak point on this is that rear diff. It just sits pretty low to the ground. But I'll show you how it does, and it's pretty impressive. I'll just do some basic lines here just to kind of show the amount. Look at that. That's crazy. That front axle is probably about 75-80 degrees right now, and the truck itself shows no sign of tipping over there. The extra width is kind of not good for this course because it is a short course, and due to that, I should say narrow course, and due to that, it takes a little bit of extra doing to get it through it. I just wanted to build something different, so the only way to go this time was just massive flex and a bit wider, just to see what it could do. And it still doesn't like everything I do to it. See, a shorter, narrower truck would actually be able to go over this a little bit easier, and I'm going to tip it over there, so I just decided to back it out. But this is a picture of how the articulation is just crazy. It's almost a vertical axle at this point, but it can do it. I'll see if I can't get it through this time. This is a whole different type of crawling than I'm used to. I'm not used to trucks with this type of articulation. And this is kind of a interesting thing I've set up here. It's sort of a hanging rock, and you got to be real careful where you put your tires, or it's going to bind up on you. And I'm not interested in breaking things, but it is a new challenge. That's what I wanted, something different. part of the problem here is the wheels are just so wide that a rock can protrude up and just high-sided on the bottom part of the differential. Larger tires will take care of a lot of that, and I'm going to put scramblers on it like I told you guys earlier. I'm also going to shorten some of these extra wire that I've got on there. It doesn't need to be that long for the servo, but I'm going to wait until I get it on the bouncer to shorten it, just in case I need that extra length on them. Not having good luck there. I'll try a different spot. Alright, there's a point here I wanted to show you. On this rock, it's kind of sticks up, and this is going to be a great demonstration of the type of flex this thing has. I'm going to send the left front tire right at it, and need to keep in mind where the back tires are so they don't hang up. There we go. It doesn't even look like that could be part of the car from certain angles, but this thing just bends all over the place. It's pretty nice that way. This is my last run before bed tonight. It's been a long day. I'm getting tired, but just thought I'd show you one more pass on it. And keep in mind, this is a test vehicle. I'm just testing out all the components on it. Everything is going to be transferred over to the rock bouncer chassis that my buddy Muggsy is printing for me. And I can already tell this is going to go bad. Oh, made it. Watch the right front on this thing. This rock is pretty cool what happens there. Up and over, just reaches for it. Not even a problem. There is a hole there on the course where the right front is. I've added some things this time that make it a little more difficult. This is the test vehicle, and everything has been optimized on it. It's ready to go, and have everything transferred over. I may or may not get that chassis in the next day or two, but if I do or don't, it's okay. This thing's ready to go. It is going to be a whole different experience, and I think I really like that wider chassis, just because it's different, and I kind of enjoy a different experience. I mean, before I had to build an entirely different course to do something different. Now I just grab a different car. I've got 4 different configurations that I can run, plus the Enduro, so that's 5, and they all do something. They all do things a little bit differently. I think this one has some capabilities the other one doesn't, and vice versa. Anything that has to do with the requirement for narrow track, this one, because it's so wide, is at a bit of a disadvantage. But it supposedly will have a pretty decent ability to side hill once I get it put together. I may add a little bit more weight to the front, maybe some maybe some brass C-hubs up there, and I don't know what else, but I'll probably add a little bit, just a little bit to the front, give a little bit more weight bias up there, and that's all for tonight. Hope you enjoyed the video.